What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our channel. So yeah, we decided we're going to start a new series called Let's Talk About It. And in this episode, the first episode, we are going to talk about why it is so difficult to reach success, to reach the dreams, that goals.
What are you talking about? It's not hard.
Okay, let's end it here.
Okay, so I think in the previous podcast episode that we talked about a little bit about men's mental health. We talked about, but a big factor in that is working towards success. Why do you think is the first reason off the top of your head? Why is it so hard to achieve in the first place? Especially if you're, that's not confined to male, but especially males in this age.
I mean, the thing is, I feel success has always been difficult to achieve. But because of the negative effects of social media, it's been portrayed as something that's easy to achieve.
Yeah.
And therefore, it feels so much harder
Yeah.
to achieve
Yeah.
than it used to be. I mean, if you look back to before social media times, let's say before the 2000s, right? Every man, every woman had this idea of success, and they knew, okay, if I want to achieve this, it's going to be super hard. I've got to put in everything I possibly can to make it. But right now, it's like you open Instagram and you see a Lamborghini, and this guy is selling you a course saying, listen, if you want to be successful, just buy this course. And obviously, it works on your mental health, right? It works on your...
Yes.
Because why? Yeah, because why? He's showing me all these amazing results that people achieved in a week or 2 weeks, and then you buy the course, you end up doing the course, you get no results in a month maybe, and you think to yourself, well, something's wrong here, isn't it?
So honestly, I don't feel like it's that difficult, well, more difficult to achieve success than it used to be. I just feel like success is portrayed in a very different light than it used to be. I mean, yes, you can do something easy like OnlyFans and be...
Sorry, not sorry. It's easy. Yeah.
Or, you can save your soul and work your ass off.
Yeah.
But I mean, each his own. But I mean, it's not like, even if you start an OnlyFans, right? It's not like you're going to be a millionaire in a day.
No.
It's still got thousands of promotions and advertisements and all those stuff that you need to go through.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people that's got OnlyFans that never made a cent of it because they think, oh, I'm just going to show this and I'm going to make money. No, it's, you still have to promote it. You still have to, firstly, you have to become famous on TikTok.
Yes.
Or Instagram. Or YouTube. And from there,
so you funnel all of the people to your own. It's not like you start one and then you just post random content.
And then someone's going to see you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like there's a site that basically say, okay, this is the top creator for the month.
No.
So yes, there are easier ways, but at the end of the day, it's still hard work no matter what you decide to do.
And I think I would argue it's almost easier than it was back in the 90s now with everything that you have at your disposal. But at the same time, it's harder, as you say, because I think it has to do with those mental games that they kind of play with you, right? So that society plays with you and saying, well, if you don't make this amount of money at this age, you are basically pathetic, right?
I saw a video the other day. I mean, it says the average American, right, has at 20 years old has $20,000 saved up. I'm thinking to myself, at 20 years old, $20,000. You know how much money that is?
Yeah.
I don't know, but that statistic, it sounds a bit. No. That's a bit of it. That's actually a statistic. That's actually crazy. And I mean, if you put that into context in our currency, it's like that's actually insane.
It's like almost $500,000 in our currency. Okay, but that said, living costs in America is much higher. I mean, they pay like $5,000 rent.
Yes.
And so $20,000 saved up sounds like a lot to us, but I mean,
that's depleted very quickly there. But at the same time, how do you think what role does society play? Why do you think, if that statistic is to be true, how do you think?
Yeah, let's double check that statistic.
Yeah.
But let's take for example that it is true, or it's somewhere in that ballpark. How do you think it's so easy for them to get that amount of money? Just grabbing the right opportunity at the right time.
Again, let's talk about our country, right? what's minimum wage? I think it's like 23 rand.
Yeah, something like that.
That's what, let's take it to USD. That's about $1 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
Where their minimum wage is like $10 an hour. So if you look at the difference, I think it's much easier to accomplish that type of success.
So yeah, so that's the next question. So it would be much harder for someone living in a third world country to achieve success than someone obviously living in the first world country.
Most definitely.
Because if they have access to all of those resources, and the other thing is, from a little kids, they've been exposed to the internet, they've been exposed to all of this online. I do think that
I mean, I remember when I was like 13 years old, 14 years old, we got our first internet line and it was a 2 megabyte line.
Yes.
And we were shocked. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah.
And I think if you are from a first world country, like you said, it's much easier to reach success.
yeah, because you've been exposed to that pretty much your whole childhood.
But that said, everyone you know have that, how can I say?
Have the resources. Yeah.
And I feel, like you said, the third world country people, it's much less likely to become successful. You have to have the world's biggest ambition, consistency, dedication, just to catch up to the people in the first world countries.
Yes.
And when you catch up eventually, and that's like hours of work,
Yes.
when you catch up, then you still have to do something remarkable to beat them.
Yeah.
Or then they are already 10 steps ahead of you again. It's an ongoing battle, especially I think a lot of people live in third world countries. The majority of the world's population actually live in the third world countries. But at the same time, I think it's very hard. Either way, if you live in a first world or a third world country, it is still going to be very difficult because of the fact that success is portrayed as something that can happen overnight. And the only way that will happen is if you win the lottery or something amazing, miraculous happens to you.
What's that one quote? My overnight success took me, 30 years?
Yeah. It took me, and I think there's nothing much to say further than keep going. I mean, we all want that success. We all know success is, when you started whatever you are doing, you know it's not going to be easy.
You didn't start it just for the fun of it, just for the heck of it.
I think, what is the number one piece of advice you would give someone now who's struggling to attain the success that they want? Except, I mean, keep going. Remember why you started, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you need to remember why I started. But I mean, my number one piece of advice to you would be don't look for motivation. Don't wait for motivation.
No.
Don't wait until you feel like it. Don't sit around and listen. Okay, I'm going to watch this Netflix show, and eventually I'll find some motivation to go ahead with my original plans.
Yes.
I mean, unfortunately, your competitors, like I mentioned, are so far ahead of you. You are playing catch up.
Yeah.
So luckily for you, your competitors are so far ahead of you. You are playing catch up, because that is the only motivation you need.
Yeah.
So keep going, keep doing what you're doing, and just stick to one thing.
On that note, before you go, make sure that you go and join the free Discord community.
Yeah, so we started, how can I state this? We are helping you with a thing called Power Vision.
Yes.
So
it's a whole kind of our own little social movement that we started and we really want to bring together people who may be struggling at this moment but have the right mindset. And the idea is to create a community where you feel welcome and where you feel like you could take advice from these people. You could work together towards building something.
And that said, we just spoke about the people in our podcast that's selling courses and stuff. We are not selling you anything.
No.
Honestly, we are not going to make you millionaires overnight. We don't have that power. I don't think anyone has that power.
Yeah.
The one thing we are going to do is, bring together a community, talk to each other about how to make money, basically creating an entire, money generating funnel.
Yes.
So if you're interested in that, make sure that you go and join. It's going to be one of the first links in the description. And yes, it is 100% free. As I said, we're not charging any monthly fee or something. Make sure you go and join that community. We'll see you next time.